Hello and welcome back. So we are on set number 2 of our little coffee mugs here. And for these ones, I asked my daughter what she thought that I should paint these, what color. And she came back and said, paint them gray. And I'm like, are you sure about that? The funny thing was, and the reason I kind of stopped was because I actually wanted to paint them gray, and I had that in mind, and I didn't tell her. And for her to have said that just kind of caught me off guard. I figured she would say something like pink, you know. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go gray. The gray, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be dark enough, the one that I'm using, but I'm going to go ahead and try it anyways. Although the brush, the sponge brush that I used on the first ones did help me get the base coat on, in the end I ended up just grabbing my brush anyways to finish it off, so I think I'm just going to stick with my brush. To do the base coat on anything, I just have some cheap brushes that I have, and actually these ended up getting stained from the blue yesterday, and I hadn't gotten that all cleaned out either. But I'm going to go ahead and use these just to get the base coat on, and then I'll get to dotting once that's dry. So last time it took about 3 coats, 4 in some areas, because I had some of the wood grain marks in the other ones. I don't on this one, so that might go a little bit smoother, but it's also going to depend on how dark I want the gray to be and how that turns out. All right, hang tight and we're going to get painting the base. Now I know that I mentioned it before, but in case people do not watch these in order, which is fine, these are just the wood blanks. They have not been prepped or sealed at all. Alright, so that's after the first coat, and again, that looks pretty darn good. I'm gonna go ahead and give it another coat just because I do want it a little bit darker, but yeah, I could possibly even leave it just like this. See here, I started this particular pattern down in the lower left hand corner. I actually don't want these ones to be centered. I thought it might be a little more interesting to do these just a little bit offset. I am going to be doing these in a monochrome. I do have, let's see here, okay, so I have a black. I'm going to be using black. I do have a slightly lighter gray that I might use white. And then I have this nice bright silver, so I might be using this as well. I also have a very pretty zinc, which might look really good. I'm going to hang on to that one. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use that one yet. At least I'm going to get the black, the lighter gray, and the white on these ones. So I don't know if you had noticed, the gray that I had used to paint the back is actually the apple barrel. I have the most, ironically enough, I have the most colors or shades of the black and the gray in the apple barrel. So I decided to go ahead and use this, except apple barrel is a little bit touchy, and As you can see, even with this that I was using in the back, it's a little stringy. It's a little more temperature sensitive, not as quite up to the quality of the Americana. So I did use this one for the background, and that's perfectly fine, and it's not going to cause me any problems if it's a little bit thick like that. But I do have the timeless gray and the black in these as well. And with the dots themselves, I don't want to risk that when I place them down, they pull and have this string. What I'm actually going to do for that, and in case you do use these types of paints and you do have this issue, I actually just grabbed a fluid medium. This one was a gloss. It doesn't necessarily matter because I'm going to be sealing these anyways, so it could be gloss or matte. You can choose, doesn't matter. But I'm actually going to put just a drop or two of this in with the paint and stir it. That will make sure that it's a little thinner and it gets out any of those lumps. For you, it's just a blink of an eye, but for me, it's been another 24 hours since I finished this particular portion. Now I'm going to go back in and I need to get something filled in these spaces here between the swooshes. And I'm thinking about adding just another swoosh, but maybe one that is what would you say, upside down, so that we can fit it in this way and fill in that section. So I'm going to try that with the white. I picked up a 3 here. I think that size will fit into all the little nooks and crannies here. What I'll do, I'm going to use the end of my tool, which is a 1.5, to kind of gauge. Okay, yeah, that's about the size of the end. I need just the smallest amount of black, just a dot here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work backwards and make a pretend dot here, or a pretend swoosh. All right, so again, we're going to go at the other end. Clean that end off, flip it around. I'm going to re-dip that. And I just need to fill that in. Alright, so that'll look like those swooshes are really there. And the gray one's even easier because I already have these 2 guide marks here. I just have to put the initial dot next to the black one. It'll follow this line up. Oops, I need some more paint on there. And then the white ones are just fillers, so I kind of know that this will go out like that. Now I filled that in. And then the only other thing that I wanted to do is get a crown on these. And the crown, I've been thinking about this, and what I might do is use this silver, because I do want to use it anyways. What I might do is just go ahead and make the crown in black and then put that silver on top of it. I think that contrast is going to be really pretty. Let's see, 4 and then probably a 3 on top. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a little bit and make sure that that is dry. before I start doing top dots on it. Now, however, I should be able to get the top dots on the other part just fine. And let's see, I probably want to do some here in the center. Let's do maybe 2.5. And again, just because I'm not going to be using too much, I just grab the lid here and I'm going to be doing it out of the lid. I already like the shimmer. Go ahead and leave this sit for a little while just to make sure that those are completely dry. So those have dried. So I'm going to come back in here with the silver. I think I like those. Try to keep these kind of simple, but yet, you know, nice. I think we're gonna call that particular set done. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. I certainly do appreciate it. If you have made it this far, remember to stop for a quick moment. If you like the content, subscribe and give it a like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.